So far, a handful of African countries and institutions have reacted to the United States invasion of Venezuela and the abduction of President Nicolas Maduro from his own country and being flown to another. As we speak now, we know that he's flown to the United States in jail in New York. That's what they said. Well, now I am here to tell you that Malema's political party, Julius Malema's Economic Freedom Fighters, have released a statement against U.S. illegal invasion of Venezuela. So far, just to update you, there is African Union, there is Ghana, there is Burkina Faso, there is Mali, and South Africa. These are the institutions and countries together who have reacted to this. Now, let me go ahead because it's a long one and read to you Malema's party, the Economic Freedom Fighters statement. Okay, so here it is. It says EFF statement on the United States of America's attack on Venezuela and capture. This word I was told is not appropriate. I think they should say abduction or kidnapping of President Nicolas Maduro. It's written on January 3, Saturday. Okay. The Economic Freedom Fighters unequivocally condemns the United States of America's military assault on the 8th Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela and the reported capture and forcible removal of President Nicolas Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, in what amounts to the most blatant act of imperial aggression in the Western Hemisphere in decades. This morning, the United States launched a coordinated series of airstrikes and special operations inside Venezuelan territory, including in Caracas and other regions, resulting in explosions, widespread alarm among civilians, and the reported seizure of President Maduro and his wife. United States President Donald Trump personally took to social media to declare that Venezuela's head of state had been captured and flown out of the country to face indictment in New York, framing the operation as a strategic triumph and boasting about future American control over Venezuela's oil resources. Let it be clear to the world that this is not a lawful operation under international law, nor it is an act of self-defense. It's a naked exercise of unilateral military power that tramples on the sovereignty of a nation and sets a dangerous and destabilizing precedent. It allowed to stand. It signals that any powerful state may invade, bomb, abduct, and remove the leadership of sovereign countries without consent, oversight of legitimacy. This attack follows months of escalating threats and military pressure against Venezuela, including the deployment of U.S. military assets to the Caribbean, repeated warnings that all options were on the table, and sustained economic warfare through illegal sanctions. These actions were always designed to weaken Venezuela and prepare the ground for regime change by force in order to install a puppet government, and the EFF warned that such escalation would inevitably lead to open military aggression. Venezuela has for decades stood tall against imperial domination and refused to surrender its commitment to socialism and freedom to foreign powers. Under relentless political, economic, and financial sanctions, deliberate economic sabotage, and sustained international isolation, the Venezuelan people have endured immense hardship. President Nicolas Maduro has remained steady in defending his country's independence, protecting its national resources, and resisting external attempts to dictate Venezuela's political future. The EFF recognizes that the leadership forged under siege is tested not by comfort but by resistance. We believe that President Maduro's commitment to his people and to the principles of sovereignty and socialism will not be broken by abduction, intimidation, or foreign force. History has shown that leaders and movements noted in popular struggle do not disappear simply because imperial powers declare them defeated. In 2003, President Saddam Hussein of Iraq was illegally overthrown and executed by the United States under George Bush on the fabricated pretext of weapons of mass destruction, weapons that have never been found to this day. In 2011, Libya was destroyed and Colonel Muammar Gaddafi was brutally killed through a NATO-led assault sanctioned by Barack Obama, plunging one of Africa's most stable states into permanent chaos. These incidents are a clear pattern of imperial violence against leaders who resist Western domination. Today, Venezuela joins this list, and tomorrow it will be another sovereign nation. If the world remains silent, even President Cyril Ramaphosa could one day be targeted on the basis of fabricated narratives, including the current dangerous and dishonest propaganda of the so-called white genocide in South Africa, weaponized in retaliation to our support of Palestine. The international response has been swift as countries such as Russia, Iran, and Cuba have condemned the United States' actions, while several European governments and institutions have expressed deep concern and called for restraint and de-escalation, and regional actors, including Mexico, have urged dialogue and respect for international law. These responses reflect a growing global unease with unchecked US militarism and its destabilizing consequences. The EFF reiterates that history has consistently shown that foreign military intervention does not bring democracy or peace. It brings chaos, suffering, and prolonged instability paid for by the working class and the poor. The forcible capture of a sitting head of state by a foreign military power is unprecedented escalation that threatens the very foundations of international order and collective security. The EFF therefore calls on the United Nations and all states committed to sovereignty and peace to condemn this illegal act in the strongest terms, demand the return of the president and his wife unharmed, and to retreat from this military action. South Africa, given its own history of colonial domination and foreign interference, has a moral obligation to reject this aggression and stand firmly with the Venezuelan people, issued by the Economic Freedom Fighters. That was the statement from the Economic Freedom Fighters of Julius Malema's political party. He called for South Africa to stand with the people of Venezuela. But Cyril Ramaphosa, President Ramaphosa of South Africa, have already sent their first statements through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and they have expressed, that what United States is doing is illegal, and they have shown their stand with the people of Venezuela. Well, in addition to the AFF, also the African Union has released a statement. Ghana has released a statement. And who else? I think, yeah, that's it. We have told you about South Africa, Mali, and Burkina Faso. And I heard also Nigeria, although I haven't read it, but also Nigeria. So, well, I mean, we all know where Nigeria stands. So this can be just a pretext. That is it for now. We have an interesting news that tune in, and we are going to be live later on. Please subscribe to the channel, unpacking the vassal states in the Caribbean that enabled this military operation of the United States, and who were serving as their military base or air base to airstrike Venezuela. So that is Trinidad and Tobago, but I will come here and do analysis on that. Please subscribe to the channel and share the video with others. Give it a like. And we have launched a membership program, so please join, and you can contribute whatever amount you like. There are options that will help us, because the YouTube channel and other platforms, as you know, are run by the Western government. So they are trying to silence, are affecting our views as well, the number of our views. So it's really important for us to have members contribution. So you can, through the channel, you can join the membership program. Thank you very much again, and I will see you on the next one.